before the video starts, I just wanted to say that this way of feeding your nanotechs you can use for any type of species and any type of ant queen you guys have. I just have a Camponotus colored that is at the nanotech stage and at the founding stages, so I use her as an example. But you can use this method of feeding them and all this stuff with any type of worker, just as long as you meet their needs and that they are ready and comfortable with feeding them and for substances and hard foods. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and here's the video. Hi and welcome back to Infornia. So today in this video I'm going to be showing you what to do when you get your first set of nanotechs, which is the first set of workers that the queen produces on her own. So the first thing you're going to need to do, well, the first thing I like to do is feed them when they first come out. So this is my Camponotus colored queen right here, and if you guys can pay attention to the screen, you guys can see how she has her first set of worker, which is right there. She has her first worker, which hatches from an egg, which is in the right corner. But so when they first hatch, they're going to be hungry, but not hungry because they are fed off of the regurgitated substance that the queen produces for them. But they will need, eventually they will need, and the queen will need a solid meal provided via the worker or the nanotech. So I'm just going to help provide that for them and give them their first set of nutrients. So you can see there, that's the worker. That's a better video of him, and you can see the egg in the bottom right corner, I believe. Yeah, bottom right corner. She looks just like the queen pretty much, I think, because this is a Camponotus, so Camponotus do tend to look like their queens. They don't kind of veer off in anything. But anyways, so this is pretty much how you get the nutrients to what your ant's colony when they first hatch out the nanotechs. This is grateful for any ant colony because it is anting season and that shelf lights are happening. So this is how you're going to do this. So first things first, you're going to need to get honey because it's the first one we're going to do. So once you get your honey, then you're going to need to get a toothpick because the toothpick is a key to this. But I use raw honey. This is natural raw honey. I tend to stick to natural raw honey. I wouldn't go to no preservative honeys or anything. I would keep 100% natural honey. So then you're just going to take your toothpick and your honey, and you're just going to rub the toothpick in the honey, but don't get too much. I'll get enough just to where like the tip of the toothpick is full, just so, because you don't want to drown your ants, because it is nanotech, so they are small. You don't want to drown your ants. And then what you're going to have to do is you're just going to plop it in there. You're just going to set it in there, but don't make don't make it too big because they can drown, like I said. But you just want to make sure it's enough for both the queen, eggs, brood, and the nanotech to get enough from it, enough sugars and carbohydrates, what they need. And you're just gonna put the con back in your tube, and the worker will eventually smell it and go over and start drinking from the honey supply. Or either sometimes the queen will too actually walk over there. I think my queen walked over there first before the nanotech did, so I think my queen's actually braver than the nanotech, but she will walk over there before the worker does, or she's just very protective. But she's gonna smell the honey, they're gonna smell the food in there with their antennae, and they're gonna register that there's more food and that they have a substance to eat, drink or eat. It depends what you use. And they're gonna go over there and start drinking from it, and then they're going to take it back to the queen and feed the queen with trophallaxis, which is pretty much mouth to mouth for the ants. So they're going to do it via trophallaxis, and they're just going to get the eggs, brood, and queen all nice and full off that substance of honey what you use. And 2 days later, as you can see, I have second nanotech. You can see them. There's one crawling around in the second one, which will be really lighter because she's fresh out her egg. But yeah, there's 2 nanotechs in there now, and the honey in the right corner is still there. It looks like the courage that they have is not high enough yet to go over there and investigate, but I'm guarantee you it will be gone. They're just trying to figure out and still get used to being out of their cocoon and being a first set of workers. But other than that, If they don't eat it right away, it's fine. Just leave them alone. They will eventually find it. As you can see, this worker right here is just smelling around, and she'll eventually find it and walk past it and notice that it's there, but she'll be too scared to drink from it. And then this is, I believe, 1 day later after the last, when I had 2 nanotechs. Now I have 3 nanotechs. I feel like I'm gonna have at least 5 by the end of this week, the way they're coming out of their eggs. But here they are. There's 5 of them, and the honey was actually gone when I checked this day. So in between the last day and this day, they actually built enough courage to go over there and drink from it, or they needed it. They didn't need it at that time, or now they needed it probably. But this is my 3rd nanotech, so now they're starting to grow as a colony. But as you can see, her brood pile is very huge, and I'm showing you there. As you can see, the honey is actually gone. But the second one to do next is to add in an apple slice actually. So what I did is I just cleaned out their cotton mess they made with all their poop in it, and I'm gonna be adding an apple in it. But you don't want the apple to be too big. You actually want that apple to be at least the size of a worker, or at least you don't want it to be too big. You want it to be at least, like, I'm talking about like the littlest slice of an apple. I'm gonna use this piece size right here because you don't want it to be too big, because they'll get scared of it like they did in mine. They got scared of it and they'll move their brood actually away from it, closer to the cotton on the opposite end. But then eventually they'll go over and smell it and realize and place out their pheromones that it is food, and release their pheromones that it is food. So they have an apple source, which is sugar and carbohydrates and what they need. I'm not going to introduce protein yet. I think I'm going to wait until I get a couple more workers to introduce protein, and I can make a video on that showing you guys how to introduce protein to your guys' first bounty colonies. But via right now, I'm adding just sugars like apples and honeys. But there's their brood pile, and there they are. And as of right now, they're enjoying the apple and got used to the apple. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. This is how to introduce food to your new founding colonies. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments if you guys need anything, or if you guys have any ant questions that I can help you guys with. But other than that, this is just a time-lapse video of the ants finding the apple, because as you can see now, they're starting to find the apple. But it's the time-lapse video of them finding the apple and getting comfortable with it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Ants Infornia signing out.